Okay. I guess that works. And there's the chat box pulling up over here. Let's pull it over a little bit so I can see it better. So, hi guys. My camera is all weird. I know it's been some time since I've been on stream and I've done things recording wise. Just a little bit of a tidbit on what's been going on is that my PC is not the best, and I have moments in the past which you've seen that it will just freeze on the screen you're seeing, and I don't catch it until 20-30 minutes later. Then I have to restart everything and then open everything back up, and hopefully it don't persist. Lately it hasn't done it. It's actually been pretty smooth, but and I've already done checked audio and everything. Nothing's reverbing, so that's a positive. But I wanted to give you guys kind of a notice of what's going on with me and everything, and then also just kind of do some gameplay. I'm going to be doing a bunch of different streams today, probably some Elden Ring and whatnot, and then depending on later tonight, I might do some streaming with the family on Rivals or Overwatch possibly, as that's been a new contending game that we've been playing within the home. Currently, the events that have been going on lately with Master Duel is the Dice Rally, which I thoroughly enjoy the Dice Rally. I just currently am very against the meta, which I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant, and who knows, maybe somebody from Konami will see this and understand where I'm coming from. The issues I have with Master Duel right now is the consistent power creep. Like, if you go into the shop right now, the current packs are Exosister, Dragoonity, and Elf Notes, along with Hecahands. Hecahands is a deck that premises on the fact that you use your opponent's stuff to do what you need to do. Elf Notes just another extension to synchro craziness. And Dragoonity, I haven't run into anybody using it, so I wouldn't be able to know off the top of my head. I never played them personally. But then you have like the Frenzy Tuning set that came back a while ago with the RBs, new supports for Black Rose Dragon, and the cool tunes. And my issue with this is you have these decks that come out that are heavy synchro format, which is fine and all, but they outshine every other format. Xyz, fusions, rituals, pendulums. Like, synchro have been getting a ton of love lately, which I'm not against per se, but it's the frustration I'm having is that they do these things and then make these new decks that are just power creeping constantly. And the current little side event they did, which I wish they had done more than just a dual trial for, is that you can't play anything that's got above a certain rating of dual usage. That was a really cool idea, like a non-meta format where you can play whatever you want as long as the cards aren't heavily used. So Ash Blossom Maxi, Effect Veiler, Dragoon, like it says right there, only cards with a usage rate of 0.1% or lower can be used. That is a really cool premise for events that they should be doing events on, not just Dice Rally, random cards banned, and then you have the staple decks that have been currently dropped that they're pushing heavily for everybody to use when they're already being heavily used within the normal meta format online. So it makes it very difficult for people that don't have the time to sit here and play the game, like a more casual player or someone like even like me who has the time more or less to play this on 3 different accounts. Like on my PC account, I have Hecahands. I don't really use it. I have my main staples like my Danger Dark World, or I even have a Sword Soul deck on there, which even then people are like, ew, Sword Soul. Sword Soul's not even that bad anymore. It used to be back when it was the power creep, but now it's being outshined by fathoms because everybody's got this copy paste board they end with. Like in this, I just went against the Draco Slayer deck that was, in my mind, when Draco Slayer came out, Dragoon was the heaviest forefront, and Draco Slayer was created to beat Dragoon because the fact that you could tribute a monster, spell, and or trap to summon it, and it was immune to the card effect. You couldn't target it with spell, trap, or monster depending on what you got rid of. So it was really, really strong, especially if you used monster and, let's say, trap. Then you had a really strong board. Like, I'm running generators for this event and having a fine time. I mean, I played 3 games and instantly just quit on one because I wasn't dealing with the craziness they were going with, because they were running an old school synchro format, just copy paste inboard. But like on my PC account, I played what they're playing right now, which is the Velmonica, which I personally have dealt with, and it's a very strong format. Like, my thing is, with this event, it gives a lot of people to look at older formats or cards that they don't really think to play because it's not meta, and be like, oh, I can appreciate that. Because this deck is really strong in the sense of the fact that you just do a bunch of burn and then get your Link monster out that just says no to everything. And if you have a good start, it's really easy. Really easy. Because now they can use your field spell, search out the main staple monster, pendulum summon it, get the search, do some more burn or some more HP gain, and then be able to, and then I'd probably burn because the fact that then they'll be able to go into 3 and then go right into their Link. And then that will search it, and then this one will allow you to go into your graveyard, target a spell card, and send it to double up the effect. Which they've already done with the burn one on this one. So that gauge, because this one's the positive gain, this one's the negative damage. And they're searching the trap for one reason or another. I had gone for the other burn card. Unless they're going to search when they do it now. Just a burn. And it's just a trap reset card. Okay. Big deal. For me, it just depends on what the heck I draw. Because right now, I don't really have anything I can do. If I draw right, then I should be fine. Steals from Roach. That does mess me up because all my cards are 9s. What? Did you surrender or did you just alt F4? Why'd you surrender? I didn't even get to go, man. I said Bill Honky. Oh, we have one more before we get done with that, and then I'll go just do some solo stuff and just kind of talk to you guys for a little bit. I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be doing a couple different things today, so this could be one video that's gonna be out, and then I'm gonna have another one that's out, and kind of just have fun. I kind of want to spend the day doing some streaming and catching up with you guys and having fun. So probably not supposed to do this on camera, but alright, so starting out, I have QQ in again. Not a bad card to start with, because then I can go straight into something. So QQ in again. Show horror. And do you have a response? Probably Ghost Spell if you're running the Velmonica stuff. Oh, you're playing Dragon Maids. I didn't even look at those. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Set that. Go here. I'm gonna go straight into this. Ow. This will give me, with Leviathan, I get the access to toggle their stuff. And I have no Nordic card to summon, so just go ahead and pass. And then what this allows me to do is, as soon as they get a board that I don't want to deal with, I can just activate, send, grab, put on the Jormungandr. So not too bad of a play. But I don't want to wait till they get the fusion card out. I want to get their... I want to get them to do a little bit less than that. So... Vanish. Go ahead and activate that. Okay, so you're gonna go for a special summon motif. I want to grab... I'll go ahead and grab Nordic Ascendant. So if they do manage to get around this in Jormungandr, I can just go straight into what I need. Kind of. I need another Minordic Construct in my hand, but not too big of a deal to pull. But we'll see how this goes. Okay, so here's Special Summon. Skadoosh. Tri-Brigades also, okay. So I've got to play, this is my only out right now, so I've got to be careful with this combo. If I do this wrong, I could get kind of messed up. If I don't know what they're doing right now, so that's the kind of the caveat. I have to kind of be careful what they're going for. What are you doing? Going to battle phase. Wait, what? Okay, I'm doing this now so I can mitigate him. Mitigate him getting a free reset. Because this is okay, so I got a couple cards I can do it with. We're gonna go ahead and do this to get some more stuff. We're gonna go ahead and just send that away. Ooh. Oh, okay, that's what you were going for. Alrighty, alright, I see what you're going for. Sophia, the Goddess of Rebirth, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go into Lopter. Lopter proc. We're gonna tribute Lopter. And we're gonna go to Mardell, where you are. Mardell! Mardell comes out. Activate Mardell. And I want to grab... I probably should grab Quest, honestly. Go ahead and play Boss Stage. We're gonna go ahead and do Jormungandr again, and I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of Kikugen again. And we're gonna attach the Mardell. And we're going to special summon. Do I have a level 9? I do have Har, so let's go ahead and bring her out. Skadoosh. We're going to special summon him. I'm going to go straight into you. So what I can do is during my turn when I activate a card or effect, quickly you target one card of the same type and attach it to it as long as it's in my graveyard. And I don't have that for a spell. And I want to grab this. And add another card. Grab this. Go ahead and do your boss loot. Got Sacred Tree. Target my quest. So now gives me a spell negation. Set that and go into battle. Do 4k damage. So now during my opponent's turn, if they do a monster effect or a spell effect, I can negate it. I can't do it on my turn with a trap. We're gonna go ahead and special summon once again. Hello. This is like a small event, like they're dual trials, I think, is what it's supposed to be. So, no, it's to me just a simple small thing. I personally really like it though, because it's a non-meta thing. Sorry about that. I just now looked down at my chat. I go to Har. I do that. You did through Draco? I just went against somebody running that, and it was a good back and forth. I enjoyed it. It's just, my thing is, I really wish more people played it because it is such a strong archetype for stuff like that. Like when current meta, Draco Slayer isn't going to be able to contend with it because the 2950. I'm going to go ahead and negate that with my 2 tokens. And then I want to hold off. But I was fighting a true Draco deck, and it was fun. It was a good back and forth. I was ahead by a while, and then I just couldn't do anything once they played a certain trap monarch card. Zodiac. Okay, so we're going to detach one of our cards to negate the effect. And I want to detach her. And they quit. Like, I love playing like sleeper decks. I love doing it. It's so fun. It bothers me when people don't play decks like rogue format. I don't care for the whole meta thing. It's never been my cup of tea. Which I feel like is a more common thing than most people let on, but this is the event. It's dual trial. You basically have an off meta format where you can only play with less than 0.1% of the cards ever played. So usually I don't do any of my missions. I just sit there and repeat the solo mission, but just because then I'm basically stuck going against the meta trash that is out right now. So it just frustrates me. But I do have to go online and do some link summoning, so there's that, which I'll just go ahead and do that. Shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't. Which is already ready. Because usually I'll just sit there and hang out. Which I can see that. I can. It's just I don't like seeing the constant flux. Whenever, especially like for me, if you're gonna play meta, nothing against it. Like I'm not trying to read back on what I said, which is really good. I actually like that deck. To me, it's not a meta deck. It's just Odeon. It's not that hard to get around if you know what you're doing. But what I'm going at is the influx of synchro format, hyper board presence, 15, 20 negates on board. Like that stuff is what I get sick and tired of seeing. Because it's very prominent in the new Elf Note Cool Tune combo deck they're doing. No responsive game server, and that's bullshit. But like, I have so many decks that I go through. It's ridiculous how many I have. Exactly. I've been playing this game for 20 years. Like, not this, obviously. It's only been out for like 3 or 4, but I've been playing TCG for like 20 years. I was there when the game first came to vanilla card, put on board, back row, you pass, and then you just kind of who gets blue eyes or summon scroll out first was the old meta. That's where I started. And I have nothing against people playing their favorite things. It's just the annoyance of the constant cool tune, synchro format, clear wing, just instant inboard presence. That's what gets me frustrated. Alright, so we've got, like, I know my deck, right, the one you're seeing right here is very annoying, but I do it for my link summoning stuff because it's just so easy to link summon everything. Go there. Actually, it might be better if I do this. Some little extra oomph. Because obviously no response. Little extra oomph. I'm saying, whenever that finally drops, oh my lord. And go ahead and do a little whack. And then whack. And I know I should have gone for the other ones, but I want the lower amount for field presence. And I'll set this back row piece. It's kind of like a weird bait, I guess. And then now Shizuku will go off. I search. And I want to grab... I'll grab this one. I'll grab my field spell. Just in case. Like, my buddy Cone, he plays this, and he has nothing but sleeper decks. He doesn't have anything meta format. All his decks are sleeper decks, and he's got 2. Sir, are you not going to do anything, sir? I'm not gonna just sit here and full combo you if you're just not gonna do anything. Just let it happen, I guess. Oh no, you're good. I'm always happy to learn something. Like I said, I'm no professional. I've just been playing it forever. But I just, I don't know. I also don't have in my Sky Striker deck. I don't have the link that resets the banishment because I just didn't play it. I didn't build it that way. I built it for like tons of my spells to be in the grave to get big bonk. So I never really built it for that kind of reset. So like I'll show you. Like I don't have, like I have Azalea Temperance, 0, Zeke, and 3 of everything else. I don't have the other ones. Like I didn't add. I had those alt arts at one point in time. I used to have Spectre, but I don't have Engage, Camellia, or Azalea. I don't have them. Or I don't even have this one, which I've actually been seeing people use, and just haven't done it. But I just have it to where, I guess in a sense, like old school way of just big board bonk. Triggered everything I want to learn to beat, so I have a lot of meta decks. But yeah, no, I get that. Just continuously you search in the phase with your link one, you can activate it so you can search Widow, Anchor, activate it, and set back to continuous to have an extra interruption. Huh. I never thought about that. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen the proc happen a couple times, so I've never thought about it. I always end up just sending it to the grave for an extra spell card. I've never really thought about doing that. That's actually pretty cool. Thanks for that. Which SR? Are you talking about Spectre or this one? I don't have. I'm assuming you're talking about this one because I don't have the SR chips. I'll do it though. It don't matter to me. Like I'm always tweaking stuff. Like always. Which I say that I don't have a reset for banishment, but I'm running Lemon's Gate. So Lemon's Gate or Lemon's Gate? Lemnis Gate. But did I even finish that? Or am I one off? Oh, I technically only link summoned once. Yeah, bit cheeks. Okay. I never really use them, so that's why I never really focus on it. Amatsu. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I just have fun, and like a lot of, like, ironically. Okay. One of the things that I do a lot for multitude of my accounts, which I can't pull up the PC when it's again. It's like Master saying, no, can't have fun today. But as my Danger Dark World deck, I have a lot of fun with that one. I love the amount of interruptions that deck has. Like, it's just so much fun. And it's the sleeper deck. Like, I ran to it whenever I used to play with a bunch of people I used to play with back in the day, and ever since then, I fell in love with it. It was a lot of fun. It was really hard to go against the amount of interruptions and just stunning that it did. And then then I added some other I guess I just not allowed to play online today. Okay, game, I see how it is. I appreciate the vote of confidence. But no, I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on. Like currently, like I ran DMs on this for Dice Rally. Did not go far. Cone is one of my buddies, yeah. He plays like what is it? Fallen Albaz, Red Eyes, Dark Lords. He's got a Black Rose Dragon deck that's really good. He's who I practice with all the time. That's who helps me build most of the decks I have. Like this one's premise is everything on your deck. You don't get to have. If I get the combo right, literally my entire time you're trying to duel every draw phase, I send the draw card you have to the graveyard, so you only have your beginning hand to play with. So unless you have a really strong, solid starting hand, that deck shuts it off. Then obviously I have DM, the Magi deck. I built a Penguin deck, and my God of War Ragnarok deck I built. Relinquished Millennium. There's Pure Relinquished. I'm tweaking this one because I want to get IC1000 out without having to worry. I just want to be able to get it out easy, which is proving very difficult. I can get C1000 out real easy. It's just the IC1000 Numeronis has been giving me a problem. And then I've got my Regenesis deck. That sweatshop. My Kashtira Punks. Voiceless, when it came out, was really strong, and it was one of my biggest frustration decks that I dealt with whenever it came out, because it would just drive me nuts. Because my thing is, whenever new decks come out, everyone hoards to it, and I look at the deck, and I see if it's my motif, and if it's not, I don't care. I don't really ever play it. But Relinquish has been a deck that I used to run that back whenever it came out back in the day when there was nothing for it. And I was those guys that would run. I actually have it in this one, I think. Or it's not this one. This one, I think. I think I have it in this one. I would run the summon just random vanilla 1 Karibo Metamorphosis straight into Restrict and then just sit. I was that guy, and it was broken. Like, Metamorphosis being banned was back then really, really strong. Now, yes, getting out this card's really good, but you can get around it really easy with Kaiju, with Board Break. Back then there wasn't such. It was just what you had. But this deck has become a little personal baby of mine that I really love. And then I have like cards like that, which are just really good support. No, you're fine. I'm the type of person, like, if you love a deck, play it. Like, dude, I have a literal Celtic Guardian deck. Like, technically not really Celtic Guardian, but it's there. I built it just kind of warriors with dice rolling. That was the premise of it. Like, I built a deck purely off the aspect of I roll a die and something happens. So, I mean, I have a lot of really funny decks, but, like, my meta ones are, like, Canines, technically Labyrinths. I say technically because it's really easy to get around. That's a good combo, yeah. Like, I have my Odeon, which is nothing like that. My Odeon's just pretty pure. I say pretty pure. I have other extra cards in there, but it's pretty much just pure. A Kaiju thrown in there with just the base cards and then general support. And I just have a pure version of it. And then I have cards like this where it's just, if you try to play some really busted spell card for a deck archetype, I can just activate it, discard a card, and say no to it permanently. It's not really broken. It's that you have two cards that basically buddy each other that make it really hard to get around. If you can just it's so easy. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Is a lot of decks that are broken, as long as you s- prevent the start of that snowballing. Like with Labyrinths, as soon as you just stop with their search or stop the special summon, the deck stalls instantly. Like then you have a turn of reprieve, and then if you don't get what you need, you gotta do it again. That's the premise, because a lot of the like archetypes like that are once per turn kind of effects. Okay, so I thought about doing something like a turbo version for the Anubis card. I like Odeon. I like getting out Serket because I like being able just to pop a card and instantly raise the attack points. I have the Kaiju for removal, and then this for resetting, and then the negates, Fairy Box. That for just turning off. Dirge is such a slept on card. No one uses this freaking card, and it's so slept on, it's ridiculous. The amount of times I've won duels because of this card alone is funny as heck. Because no one uses it. Because there's a lot of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That everybody sleeps on because they're either older or they're not part of an archetype that's meta. So, like, adding in Imperial Customs with Dimension Guardian, attaching it to your card that doesn't have its own protection, makes it to where it has protection, and this protects that. So then they have to pop twice back row just to even touch your card that has no protection. And then if you're running into somebody that's using, like, Maxi, Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, stuff like that, and you're worried about it, or even a Nib, you can Dirge, type the card up, instantly, as soon as they use the effect, half the LP's gone. And then if you're running like with the Sword Soul deck I have, I can mill you a burn, meaning burn. I can burn you 4K like that. So this is really strong in decks that have a natural burn premise. And if you're going second, this card's invaluable. It's just an SR. No one used it. I ran across it whenever I was playing in the solos mode, and I just saw it. I saw the effect, and it's so strong. This was saying, like, you run Dirge in a deck that has, like, you know what you're going against, it just decimates. I've won so many times. Like, a lot of my wins against Cool Tunes are because of Dirge, or because of Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell. Because I just shut off everything they do, or they're too afraid to activate an effect because it just decimates their LP. Because with how current meta is, back when you first start playing Yu-Gi-Oh, LP was so like sacred. You didn't really have anything that touched it. Nowadays, everything touches it as a resource. So having it to where your resource is just halved instantly, it really shuts down a lot of plays that you can go for. And this deck's really strong with it. But I have decks that are way worse that use that as a premise. Like, I was building this zombie deck to do a burn format. I don't think I added Dirge to it. Oh, yeah. When the new tunes come out, I already know Cone's going to jump on that instantly. Tunes are one of his favorite archetypes because of how funny they can be. And the fact that the Blue Eyes Ultimate Toon Dragon can just give your board protection and just special summon for free and allows all your cards to attack directly instantly. It's going to be a nutty thing. And plus, it's just 3 Toon monsters, not including a Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. It's just 3 Toon monsters. The summoning mechanic is super easy. Plus, you don't have to use a spell. It's a contact fuse. That's a really strong format. But like I have, even like in most of my decks, I have like stuff like this where it's just really silly things. Like I have a Time Lord deck. The whole premise is put big wall out. You can't touch me. Because they're immune to card effects. They're immune to everything. And if you do get around it to send them to the graveyard, I have these that go into the point where I can just put all of them out and all their effects proc, and I'm just doing tons and tons and tons of burn. Like, if I could pull up the PC account and show you what I have on that one, that'd be a lot. That one's bad. That's a tax deck. That is ridiculous. And it's very inexpensive. Like, really, really inexpensive. I think out of all of the URs in it, I think I have 6 URs in the tax deck I built on the PC. Like, a lot of it's just mill, burn, you summon things, I get cards, burn you more. It punishes you special summoning like crazy. And then every time, it's got the Skull Invitation, Soul Levy, Morphing Jar 1 and 2, Needleworm, the flame larvae thing that you'd pop. It gets destroyed by battle or card effect. You mill the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. A traffic control. So it's a certain continuous spell that everything level 4 and higher instantly goes into defense, and then the organism of the super something ancient super whatever trap continuous. Anything level 6 and higher just can't attack or use its effects. So the entire deck's premise is you can't do nothing unless it's below level 4. And then if you do anything, I Book of Eclipse, set everything, you draw a ton of cards. At the end of your turn, you have to discard a ton of cards, and then it's just really, 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 really dumb. Okay, yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Like, I want to see them do, I'd love to see them do because I know I'm actually a fan of it, personally. I know a lot of people don't like it. But personally, I'd love to see them do a Genesis format. Like, add Genesis format to Master Duel where you could play either normal or Genesis. And to me, that is just going to be so fun. Because it really rewards creativity. That's my biggest thing. That's one of the things I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Magic and Pokemon, you have a linear side, kind of. You can be custom with it. But with Yu-Gi-Oh!, you can put anything with anything and make it work if you do it right. I love the customization that Yu-Gi-Oh! Offers when it comes to the trading card game aspects. Like, there's cards that are old that if they added to Master Duel, most of my decks would be so broken. So broken. I'll just go and booty around in solos for a little bit and then probably hop because I'm getting somewhere. For real. Thank you. Thank you for seeing that. I'm so thankful somebody actually understands that Genesis is actually a good thing. Like, it drives me nuts that people see Genesis and hate it just because they can't run instant meta sheep stuff. To me, being able to build whatever you want, as long as you build it appropriately, is just so good. I'm just going to play Time Lords. It's so fun to be able to sit there and just have fun like that. It brings you back to like when you were a kid just playing whatever. Okay, go ahead, search, grab you, and then we're gonna go do this. Dealing, send Gabrion out. Get that started. And then we're going to go yeah, we'll go ahead and set that. Hopefully they hit me with battle. Hopefully. Not a big deal. That was cool, but there's one deck type. No, I want to be on. There is yeah, but there is a certain deck in Solos mode that has no URs. It has an SR. I think. I have to look. I don't know. I actually want to grab this to reset the board. And then I want to do this to then grab this. I did this backwards. Oops. The dink. Half LP. What is it called? There is a format in the or a deck archetype in the Solos mode that allows you to do what you're saying. It's really good. I've played it. It's fun. It's just complicated. I don't, pretty sure it doesn't have a single UR in it. I think it's got one SR, I think. Go ahead and send that away. And then we're going to go ahead and summon these to reset the board. I think. This is the Time Lord deck I have. It's just silly. It's just really, really silly. Dark World Dealings again. And I've got all 3 of my Time Lords that I need. In the grave. So we'll go ahead and send away a Median. We'll just go ahead and summon you, do some damage. Ba-doo. Then do that. And this is 2,000. Ba-doo. Ba-doo. And I win anyway. And that's just running Time Lords as it is. Like, and then nobody runs Time Lords. FA Metal. Oh my god. FAs were one of my favorites. I love FA deck. I actually have it. I don't have it finished. I'm editing. Change, not edit. FAs were like, when I played Links, because I played Duel Links, FAs were one of my things. I have it. I just don't have it finished. I'm missing certain cards. Like I had that. That was back at the server I was a part of. I played those for an event and I actually managed to get pretty high up in the event. I wasn't expecting to at all, but I did. Pick a fun deck, I guess. Let's go with... Oh, yeah, I was going to show you the archetype I was talking about. What is it called? Megaliths. I'm pretty dang sure there's nothing in this archetype that is... Because that's not a part of it. That's not a part of it. Ours, ends. So that's the only one that's an SR that I know of. Because RR, NN, SR, NSR, UR. That's new. That's new. I haven't seen that one before. But back when this deck first came out, you only had this one, those two, and I want to say those two. That one and that one are new. And then you had you didn't have that. You had that, and that. So when we did the event and the server I was a part of, there were somebody that ran Megaliths and just stomped everyone. It was so strong. Because it was cheap. Because we would do stuff like that in the server we were doing. We'd have events. Back whenever I made the events, I'd do events like normals only or NR only, or like you could have 3 SRs in the deck, or you could have 1 UR, stuff like that. I would do. I thought it was fun. Back to your hand. I want to add this. I want to go into this. And this is my little fun deck I have. That I made this to have just pure fun with. I played it online a couple times, but it's just, to me, it's hilarious. Bink. Because they're not one singular card per turn, so I can just mid-max mail be like crazy. And in one go, I've already gone above my HP. Or LP. A little fun thing I like doing. And 20k. So fun. Go ahead and add another vampire monster. Alright, but yeah, that's that, I was planning on doing a smaller stream, but kind of just got lost in the sauce talking and just being on my own. But thanks for. It is not zero. Sorry, my screen's this big from I'm looking at it. It is not zero for coming in and hanging out with me while I was doing all this. I appreciate you doing that. And I'm gonna be right back on another stream, so don't worry. I'm not gonna be gone long. Not that I don't think anybody really cares, but I'm going to switch over to a different game, switch up the title and all that, and then I just kind of want to get this out, have some fun with some cards, banter, whatnot. And then I'm going to probably hop over to another game. I may have Cone with me on that one. It just depends on what he's doing. It just depends, really. But thanks for everybody that came out, and I'll see you guys in the next stream/video. Bye-bye.